Hi, guys. I'm trying to get people in. Can everyone hear me?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just waiting a few minutes to see if there's more people coming on.
Okay, I'm on. Yeah. Okay, bye.
Try that. Hello.
Hi, Natalie.
Hello.
Hey, Patrick. How do I mute this now?
Usually down in the bottom left-hand corner, there's a mute button.
Wow, my phone is like quiet.
Excuse me.
Diana, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay, there we go. I was like, my phone is so quiet. I like can't hear anyone.
Can you hear now?
I can hear now. Yes.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm going to go ahead and get started. And by the way, I am recording this so that if, there's somebody that misses it or, just wasn't available this time, we can replay it. I'm going to do some screen sharing with us because I have a PowerPoint I'm going to share so that you guys can all see it. Let me pull this up. Can you see the PowerPoint?
Yeah.
Everybody, yes? Okay. All right.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to go ahead and Natalie will pipe in and, add comments and stuff. And then if you guys want to jot down any questions, and if we don't address them during this little PowerPoint presentation, then we can answer them at the end. Sound good? Okay. All right. I just admitted somebody else. Okay. Again, my name's Diana Dempsey. I'm the retired aquatic director, but now I'm the swim team coordinator. Okay. And this next screen just tells who our staff are this year. Natalie, of course, is the head coach, as she has been for the last, 2 years, Natalie?
Yeah, just about.
Yeah, and Lydia has been with us, I think, for maybe at least last year, maybe the year before also. Ken Brewster is our new aquatic director. And I believe his kids might be joining this year also. Okay. This is just some of the committees that we do during the season. We, with social distancing and the pandemic, I'm not sure of how many, fundraising activities we'll do. Our budget, our account for the swim team right now is pretty healthy. We have about $4,600 in there currently, so we're in good shape to start the season. at this point, and we normally have a meet committee, and that consists of people that help us make sure we have enough volunteers to run a meet and setting up the meet and putting things away after the meet, everything that we have to have to run a swim meet. And I'll talk more about meets a little later. And we normally try to have some special events during the season, some fun things for the kids. Again, we sort of have to see how the pandemic comes, and we may have to shift how we do things this year to make sure that we keep everyone as safe as we possibly can. We do have a booster club. You don't have to join. If your kids are on the team, you're all automatically part of our booster club. And it's just, the booster club tries to help support our team with everything that we need. Like volunteer hours at swim meets, things like officials, timers, scorekeepers, announcers, things like that, and any fundraising to support any extras for the coaches and swimmers during the season. And that could be things like travel expenses. I don't know how much travel we're going to have this year. We have.
Did you see somebody type that they can't hear? I don't know if that's.
I don't know. No, I'm not getting the chat things on mine for some reason.
Oh, okay. Just letting you know that. I don't know if there's a way to check.
Not on my end. Yeah, while I'm in this PowerPoint, I'm not, let me get back to where I was. Let me see, participants. And then they should be able, if you guys can hear me, they should be able to, the mute button just affects whether we can hear somebody talk or not talk. Some people have theirs muted, some people do not. But I mean, I turned my volume up all the way. And if you guys can hear me, you know, they might need to adjust the, you know, the volume on their computer. It might be turned down too low. But it's, I just got somebody else joining. Yeah, I don't know why it's not showing me any of the chat. Probably because the PowerPoint's on my screen. I'm not sure. Okay. All right. Hopefully everyone can hear now. Any questions on what the booster club does? Okay. Okay. So we'll just keep moving. We have 2 practice sessions. We have our blue practice, which is Monday, Wednesday, Fridays from 6:30 to 7:30, Saturday mornings from 7 to 8:30. And the white and high school practice also starts on the 21st, and that's a 2-hour practice. So that both practices start at 6:30, but the white kids will stay longer. And the Saturday morning practice is the same. And the white team practices also Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. So they have a little more practice time than, you know, both the length of the practice and the number of days. And it's completely up to the coaches as to who should be attending which practice. If they feel that the swimmer needs to be in the 2-hour practice and more days per week, they would let you know that also. I always like to see kids move up rather than have someone start in white and have a coach say, you know, you're not really quite ready for that. And, you know, that sort of puts a damper on things right at the get-go. So it's always nicer to say you're way too good for this practice. Now, since we represent the Y at our competition, everyone that joins our team does have to be a full privilege YMCA membership. And our registration system is set up that if a non-member tries, the computer won't let a non-member register for swim team. So you do have to be a member first, and you can do it at the same time. You have to take the membership out first and then join. Okay. And membership and swim team, you can pay the fees in full, or you can do monthly bank draft. The swim team bank draft is set up that we have the first draft will come out on October 15th, but when you register, you would need to pay the first payment of the first monthly payment, and then the draft would be October, November, December, and January, the 15th of each of those months. Since we do not prorate for people that say join in November or December, they can, but they would have to pay the payments for, the September, October, whatever they had missed. And then they could draft for the balance of it if they chose. And if you guys have questions, like I said, if you don't understand something, just let me know. These are the fees. You can see the blue team to pay in full is $310. White is $480, and high school is $150. The reason the high school fee is so much lower, that high school fee is for kids who also swim for their high school swim team. And we realize that once their high school practices start, usually sometime in November, we're really not going to see much of them at practices. They might make it once a week, maybe twice, but they're not going to be able to come to all of our practices. We do hope that unless they have a high school commitment for their high school team, we would expect to see them at meet. Now, if a high school kid that also swims through their high school plans on attending, say their high school practices in the mornings before school, and they plan to also attend all of our practices at night, they would then be expected to pay the white fee. They're going to be, once the high school season starts, if they're going to be coming more than once or twice a week, they should pay the white team fee. Okay, any questions on that? Just let me know at the end. The booster club fee, there's a $45 per family, and again, that helps to provide us with the money we need for ribbons, and if we're having a pizza party or holiday parties or anything like that, we need ink for the printer, stuff like that. But that $45 per family, and we may find that with what we already have in the account and that $45, maybe we won't have to do any fundraising. That's sort of up to all of you, and and I work with you for that to sort of come up with a budget on what it's going to cost for the season. We're not really going to know that yet until we know what the postseason is going to consist of this year. We're planning on possibly doing an aquathon, which is sort of like the kids get sponsors that are going to either pay them one set amount or so much per lap, and we'll have like one night at practice where we'll just count how many laps the kids swim during practice, and then they collect the fees, and it's sort of a no expense little fundraiser for the team that the kids themselves are involved in and during practice. The coaches and I are working on some team apparel other than just bathing suits. On swimoutlet.com, we can do upload the logo, whatever we want on things, and we can have the team apparel for sale right on that swimteamoutlet.com site. So I've been investigating it for the last couple weeks, and as soon as we get the logos uploaded, we'll be ready to go with that. And speaking of that, we do have a team store on swimoutlet.com. Anyone, and it doesn't have to be just our swimmers, anybody that logs on to swimoutlet.com through our team store, which you just go swimoutlet.com and you'll see team stores. You click that and you select GSY Stingrays. It'll take you to our team store where our team bathing suits and there's things like goggles and kickboards and, you know, things that swimmers, you know, may want to have. And you can also, once you log on there, you can also go on to swim and buy anything else you want. Anything you buy through that, we get 8% for our team. We just got a $600 check about 2 weeks ago. So it's a nice little no work fundraiser. And, you know, we may come up and we may see other things we want to do too. And, you know, we can do other things that are allowed. Okay. As far as what's expected of parents, some of the possible jobs could be learning how to be a timer, a runner, a finish, or it's also sometimes called a place judge, learning to be a swim official, which we desperately need new officials. Administrative official, that's an official that works at the score table and sort of runs things over there. Learning how to work our timing console. If somebody's good with computers, learning how to operate the meet manager software might be right up their alley. An announcer, the setup crew, things like that. And this year, most of our training for all of this stuff is going to be virtual. The National Y right now is working on the swim official courses and adapting the training design so that we can, as trainers, we can do it virtually. So you wouldn't even have to come to the Y. You could do it, take the course right from home. Okay. Oops, where am I? Types of swim meets. I'm guessing, at this point it is a guess, that at least initially our meets will probably be virtual. I don't exactly know exactly how that's going to look. My guess is that if we have a dual meet, like the fall winter league meets where it's our team against another team, instead of there being a home and away team, they might swim at their pool, we would swim at our pool, and then the visiting team would then send their results to the host team. They would merge them together and submit them to the league, I think. But we have not gotten any direction from our league yet. We have a league meeting, a virtual league meeting on September 26th, I think, and hopefully I'll know more after that. And again, they're not really giving us any information about districts, states, nationals at this point. They're, I think, waiting and keeping fingers crossed that things will get better and it will be safe to have some of these big meetings later. Invitational meets. Again, I don't know how many of them there are going to be this year, but if we do have either invitational or league meets, we have a team website. It's a Team Unify website, and we'll be able to set you up so that you can do all of your entries through the website, whatever you wish to attend. We do all of our communications through that too. With our league meets, any last minute emergencies, illnesses, things like that, please contact Natalie through, with her cell phone, and she gave me permission to put it on this PowerPoint at least 2 hours prior to the meet. Natalie, do you have anything you want to add to that?
I do have a Remind app currently, and I know a lot of parents are already on it. Usually the first practice, what I'll do is I'll ask parents to either download the app, or if they already have it downloaded, just join our group. That way, if you do have an issue, you can either email me, text me, or send me a message via Remind. Or if we're meeting at a specific location for an away meet, if we have any away meets, I'll send out a Remind and say, we're on this part of the deck, come down there, and we're down there. But mostly, if you do have an issue and you cannot come to the meet, please, as soon as you can, even if it's the night before, just text me or email me so that I know, so that I could either scratch your child or just take them out of the meet fully. when it comes to swim meets, if it's like 5 or 10 minutes before the meet's supposed to start, I really can't scratch them out of their events. They're just going to be not in. So it kind of is more beneficial to tell me the night before or a couple hours before if you're not coming or if you're coming late. So that's the only thing. If you do have an issue with that, just let me know. I'm always open to other resources. If it's not text, if it's not remind, or emailing. So.
Okay. And also with the meets, as of right now, the YMCA is not permitting any non-members into the facility. So only members can come into the Y. When they come through the front door, yes, you have to check in at the front desk and they have to take your temperature. So nobody will be able to scoot down the side hallway or anything and bypass. That's for everybody's safety. If anyone does have a temperature, they would not be admitted to the facility. As of right now, our spectator area is closed. The bleachers are propped up, and the only people that are allowed to be in the pool area are the people that are actually swimming and staff that need to be on the deck. At a swim meet, we will not have any spectators in the stands. As long as it's virtual, we'll be spreading our team around our pool deck, spreading out. The only people in the pool area would be people working the meet as a timer, and we probably only have 3 lanes running, as if, like our team would be in whatever lanes we're in, and because we have to still stick to the same lanes that we would have in a normal meet, so that when they merge things together, you don't have 2 kids swimming in lane 2 on the same event, same heat. And I'm going to try to get an extra table and some longer wires and spread our score table people out so that we're not sitting shoulder to shoulder either. So it's going to have a little different look to things this year. We're going to try to have as few people on the deck as we can, but still run a good meet. Okay. And again, the teams that we normally swim would be Bloomsburg, Freeland, who used to be Hazelton, but now they're swimming with the Freeland Y, because the Hazelton Y no longer exists. Pocono, Schuylkill, and Wilkes-Barre. The only teams that I know that Wilkes-Barre is having a team. I know that Pocono is having a team. I'm guessing Bloomsburg, but I haven't heard any of the others. We'll know more after that league meeting. So, everything may be a little different than normal. Okay, and again, boys and girls championships, that usually happens at the end of our league season. And normally, for those of you who are new to our team, normally any swimmer who has participated in at least 2 of our league meets during the season is eligible to participate in championships. There's no qualifying time to swim in championships. Then after that's over, the next meet that normally happens is YMCA districts. And districts, in order to participate and go to the district meet, you do have to have achieved a qualifying time, and any events that you qualify in, you would then be able to go to the district meet as long as you have participated in at least 3 YMCA meets since September 1st of this year. So that's, and then states, it's the top placements, and I'll get to talk more about that stuff in a little bit. I'm getting ahead of myself. And this just shows the Y district meet. If you have a swimmer and they qualify to go to districts, the age groups are, there's no 8 and under. So an 8-year-old or a 9-year-old, like an 8-year-old, 7-year-old, they can go to districts if they make the time, but they would be swimming against 9 and 10-year-olds. And then there's 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and 19. The Y state meet, again, if at Y districts, the top positions for an event If they finish in the top positions, then they would be moving on to swim the same events at the state meet. And then Y Nationals, there's no age groups in Y Nationals. It's for ages 12 to 19. And say in the 50 freestyle, 12-year-old qualifies to go to Y Nationals. They would be competing with kids between ages of 12 and 19. So they wouldn't be competing against other 12-year-olds necessarily. Okay, our team communication. I mentioned we have a Team Unify website. After you've registered, and not just registered and signed them up, we have a team information form that is on our Team Unify website, and I've also been, sending it out to people that have registered already. If you haven't gotten it, just let me know, and I'll make sure that you get it. But in order for me to get you set up on Team Unify, I have a lot of information I have to put in there for you, with the email addresses you want, all that kind of stuff. And then I'll send you you'll get an email from Team Unify telling you how to verify it. And I'll also send you information about we have a mobile app called On Deck that links with our Team Unify website. And it's a lot more user-friendly than the actual website. Most of our parents like using that more. And with that, you can sign up for meets, you can sign up to volunteer, you can check your kids' times, their results after a meet, things like that. We also have some text alerts. Natalie mentioned the one that she's going to set up. I'll also if you want to receive other alerts for the YMCA, you can text, like say you want general facility alerts, like if there's a water main break and the Y has no water and they have to close the whole facility. If you text Scranton Y to 84483, you would automatically get any facility alerts that they send out. If you just say you're also a lap swimmer, or you go to water exercise, something like that, you do more than just swim team, you may want to receive aquatic center alert, that if Ken or I send out something. And then we also have one just for swim team alert. We know, I forgot this, we no longer have a YMCA, a swim team Facebook, but the YMCA does have a Facebook page. You can, if you become join that group, you would get general YMCA Facebook, posts and things. But we do not have a swim team Facebook page any longer. Outside of the competitive pool, there are some bulletin boards that we post some things on. There's some handout racks that we might put some things in that people can pick up. And again, if you have questions, just ask one of the coaches before or after practice, or contact us by phone, email, text, and we'll do our best to get back to you in timely fashion. Just please try not to distract the coaches during practice, because that time is very valuable to your swimmer's progress. Okay. And again, we start on September 21st. As soon as I have the league meet schedule, I'll have it on our website, and I'll be sending it out by email as soon as they have anything finalized for it. I know that won't happen before the league meeting. It'll probably take at least a couple weeks after that before we have anything. As of right now, I'm planning on doing Zoom trainings, like I said, for swim officials, administrative officials, timers, runners, place judge, announcers. Timing console operator, I'll try to do that remotely, but I kind of think you might need to see it on your own. Laptop operator, things like that. Any questions for Coach Natalie?
Yes. Natalie, can you speak a little bit about your experience both with swimming and also with coaching, please?
Sure. Who's this that I'm talking to? Because I can't see a face.
No, I know. My name is Megan Murray. I'm preparing dinner, so you don't want to see that.
That is A-okay. So basically, I've been a swimmer since I was 6 years old, and I finished my swimming career the senior year of my high school career, basically going into college. So I swam for about, oh God, a while, a very long time. I mean, I still swim now. I've been coaching blue and white teams since last year. So last year was my official year coaching. And then before that, I had 3 years of assistant coaching with GSY swim team. I was under Mark Estlin, and then I coached with John Androli and Beth Cholish for a little while. So I had been coaching with them as an assistant, and then obviously, like, I'm very familiar with the YMCA meets because I swam YMCA, I swam USA competitive league, and then I swam high school league and age group. So I've been kind of around the block with swimming and coaching here and there.
Okay, great. Now, what about, are there strokes that you, like, were you proficient and did you compete in all the strokes, or were there some of the strokes that you are not as familiar with or not as good in and you have someone else help with those, or how does that work?
So for me personally, I was a IM swimmer, so I swam butterfly, backstroke, breaststroke, and freestyle. I'm proficient in every, well, I guess I would say advanced in every single stroke. I just prefer certain strokes over other ones versus, like, I don't know them. I know every single stroke. I know how to swim every single stroke, and I'm very, very big on technique. So I like the technique of each stroke to be as perfect as it can be, just in order to help swimmers out, because when you're swimming, there are a lot of issues that can arise with your body, muscular, bone injuries. Like, you can injure yourself very easily swimming. So I want to make sure that each stroke is as well performed as possible. I mean, personally, I prefer breaststroke over every single stroke just because I like it. And I liked swimming the 500, which are distance events, just because I personally like distance events. But I don't have a stroke that I was really, really, really good at, and that was it.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Yeah, you're welcome. Do you have any other further questions?
Anybody? Any questions for me about the administrative ends of things?
I have a question. I don't know if you guys can hear me.
Hi, Jane.
Hi. First of all, I want to say we've missed you guys, and we're hoping to get back. I'm just kind of curious to know what your guidelines are in regards to COVID restrictions and us being allowed to stay at practices. What's going on with all of that?
You would not be able to stay in the pool area during practices. We're trying to have as few people, around. What we're also, I'll let Natalie explain how we're going to do social distancing with the kids as far as incorporating some dry land and some swimming. So, depending on how many kids we get. So if we have more than, if we have 12, then we would, at any given practice, we could have one kid start at one end, one kid start at the other end, and they could spend most of the time in the water. If we have more than that, we would alternate them a little bit so that, like, group A might be doing a set in the pool, and group B might be some dry land burpees and stuff up on the pool deck, so that they're getting a little bit of both worlds. They did that this summer for the swim clinics, and it seemed to work very well. We're also, we have enough kickboards that we're planning on putting a piece of tape on each kickboard and writing a swimmer's name on it. And that's their kickboard for the season. At the end of each practice, the coaches would sanitize those, put them away, and then they would line them up against the pool before practice, and like the pool wall, and the kids that come to practice could pick up their kickboard, and they would use that kickboard during practice, and no one else should touch their kickboard. We are asking that you purchase your child's own equipment as far as their, goggles, maybe a pool buoy, some training fins, that they would not share with anyone. They would be exclusively for them, and they should bring those back and forth to practice each day rather than leave them at the pool. Do you have anything to add to that, Natalie?
Oh yeah, I have a lot to add. So I work at a college, so I have other guidelines that my college is following that I've kind of incorporated into our routine with the swim team. As of right now, anybody that is either a sibling or they have quarantined together or they interact with each other for a very long time during the day or outside of swim practice, I'm allowing them to swim in the lane together and be close to each other, only because every time outside of swim practice, they're close to each other already. For our team, specifically parents, since we are practicing technically a little bit after hours, if you'd like to either sit in our our room outside of the pool area and socially distance that way, as long as we can sanitize after you leave, that's fine. Or if you guys want to wait outside the pool area, we do have the nice umbrella shaded area outside the pool area in the back if you want to wait out there, or you can drop off and wait outside in your car. It just matters whatever you guys want to do. Parents, obviously, you can talk to me and let me know what is the best thing for you, how you want to wait, and how you want to pick up your child.
Natalie, we'll probably have to get direction from the YMCA administration as to exactly where they want parents to wait.
Yeah.
If you are not YMCA members, you would not be able to come into the building.
Yeah.
You have to wait for them in the, right outside or in the parking lot, but I'll get more directions from the administration on that.
We can figure that out when the time comes for practice on Monday, and just give a little bit more of where parents can go. Maybe we'll make signs or something. But mostly I'm just more concerned about socially distancing the kids. I think the biggest thing is that if you are quarantined together, or you are close to each other, siblings, cousins, friends, you guys can stay close to each other. Kids during the inside the pool area don't have to wear masks. And if we're outside doing dry land, which I prefer because it's a lot more space, the kids don't have to wear masks then because they're outside. And then coaches obviously will have masks on because we're going to be in close distance. But everything we're trying to separate as best as we can. If you need to borrow a pair of fins, you can borrow a pair of fins or use those fins for practice, and we will just sanitize them and put them away in the bucket. But if there's any other cause or concerns, you can let us know. I think that's basically it. If you have any other questions with the guidelines, we tried to make it as easy as possible, just so that it benefits not only the swimmers, but the parents, and then it kind of makes practice still fun. It's not like oh my gosh, we have to not talk to each other and stay away from each other.
Any other questions for us?
Yes, I have my one son, it will be swimming with the, I can't remember the colors, the shorter time group. And then my older son will be swimming with the longer time group. So when my 9-year-old gets out of the pool at 7:30, can he sit in the pool deck and wait for my 13-year-old to get done with his practice if I'm not allowed in there? Or will he have to come out at that time? How will that work?
I mean, I personally don't see a problem with it, as long as he's just sitting on the side and not really interacting with the other kids. I don't see a problem with it. I know the one biggest thing is that